Welcome everyone to our Pokemon Diamond Hardcore Randomizer Nuzlocke. Today is episode 4, nicknamed Mundane, because it's quite a boring episode. Don't watch it if you don't want to. Here's our previous episode stat page. Starting off episode 4, we have to fight this Blissey, and the worst thing about this is the fact that we have to really budget our team right now, because if you guys didn't know, in Pokemon Diamond, there's 2 gym leaders after each other with the exact same level cap. So in a Hardcore Nuzlocke, which means you cannot overlevel, you're kind of forced to either sacrifice half your team or else just not battle anyone. But optional trainer battles in this game aren't really happening, so of course you have to kind of go along with that and hope we don't get overleveled on the way up. For our first encounter of the day, we get a Ditto who is going to be caught really easily. It's not that hard to catch. We're going to nickname this Ditto Shigaraki because transform Pokemon, I know I could have chosen someone with a mutation quirk and not a erasing quirk where it erases anyone who gets touched by it, but I just felt like it was a cool name for Ditto, so yeah. So on this route there are plenty of trainers to battle, and with that comes a pretty high risk of overleveling. As you can see, Deku here is already pretty close to level 31, and so when we kill it, it's going to give us just enough XP to get level 31, and unfortunately that is our first Pokemon down for the 4th gym. It doesn't mean they're dead, it just means you're going to get boxed so we're able to use them again, which is kind of unfortunate. For our second encounter of the day, we find this Chimecho, or Chimeko, whichever you want to call that. I don't really know what you guys want that. It's a pretty hard Pokemon to catch, and because we're so high leveled we can't really attack it. I know I could have Sandstormed, but considering how many Pokemon I've lost to Sandstorm, it was just better I just caught it like this. So that's a Chimeko down, and we're going to nickname this with a pretty simple name, All for One. Now, I know these are all evil names for good Pokemon, but just me, it's a good name, okay? Just trust me on that. We struggle around for a long time before finding this cave, where we find a Baltoy, who is going to be our 3rd encounter and 3rd catch of the day. We named this Baltoy Kurogiri, I'm sorry for messing that up. It doesn't have a gender, so it doesn't really make sense, but at the same time it's a good name. After running around for a while, we run into the professor's assistant, who is yet again in another pickle. I ignored him for a bit, but then I decided I should probably help him, and so you team up to take down a grunt again. It seems like the professor's assistant is really annoying for this. If I have to say it one more time, I might as well just leave him die. Though I do have an overlevel Houndour as well. I forgot to tell you guys this because I didn't think it was that important, because you all know that was going to happen. But that's another Pokemon down for the 4th gym, which is really shameful because these are our best Pokemon of all time probably. The professor's assistant finally thanks us, which is really good because last time he didn't even thank us. But he says he's going to go off to Pastoria City, so we might as well follow him. We box Deku and Houndour and take out our loyal companions, the new ones at least. So we take out All for One and we take out Shigaraki. We find this wild Rhydon for our 4th encounter of the day. We're going to use Yawn because now our new All for One has a pretty good catching appearance, I guess. And so without a doubt we just sidewave a few times because it's not going to do much against it, and then we just catch it with the Great Ball because Great Balls are now officially one of our items. We name it Rikia, and that's another one to the box. I just noticed this now, but we actually took Kurogiri out of the box and eventually he died somehow. I think the footage corrupted because I can't find it anywhere. Unfortunately that is another death though. We then run into this Dragonite from a trainer, and we didn't have much of a counter, so we have to sacrifice All for One here, which unfortunately leads to another death. Unfortunately later on we do run into this Gliscor, and to get super effective damage off I have to sacrifice Shigaraki, who then goes down to a quick attack, which I did not suspect. So that's another death. At some point I caught this Feebas, which we named Tamagari, I think it was. Again, footage corrupted. It seems like a lot of my footage is corrupting today, which is kind of sad, but of course that's not really my own fault. I also forgot to mention that Paraloader and Todoroki both got overleveled, so at this point we're going to go ahead and hatch this egg because we need the full team we have, and this is the best we can do. Yeah, so apparently also Suyu was also overleveled. So yeah, that's another one in the box. I then ran in place for about ages, and then we finally hatched this egg. So let's see what comes out of this egg, shall we? And it's a Bronzong, which is a pretty powerful Pokemon, so I'm not that mad about that. After eventually hatching the egg, we of course hatched the Bronzong. And what would be a better name for a Bronzong? I think Kishima is the best name. And I do manage to misspell this because for some reason I have a really big fantasy of misspelling every single name. I almost double misspell actually, which is pretty tragic. After taking down the gym trainers and defeating the gym puzzle, we end up against the Piplup here because this is the gym leader. We finally have come to that point of the video. Now with Calm Mind we set up because we only have 4 Pokemon, so we really need to be careful about everything we do here. So we essentially, after Calm Minding about 3 times, he's about to send in the Wooper. It's an easy kill. That's 2 Pokemon down with absolutely no trouble. His last Pokemon, or his 3rd, 4th one, I actually can't remember. It's his last Pokemon apparently, is a Carvanha, which we actually can't damage with Extrasensory, so my setup here is kind of useless. We end up switching to Tamaki, which is his name at this point. I got it completely wrong, but don't worry, he dies anyway, so it's really nothing. We flail for a bit of damage, and I just know this is going to be the end of it, so I just try to get as much damage as possible out of this Pokemon. And it took a bit of health. I'm not going to lie, it didn't do that much, but it still did something. We end up going to Rukia, who is going to Thunder, because I thought it Thunder before the match. And that is the gym leader for down. With quite an easy matchup, it only took me a minute to defeat this gym leader, and that is the Fen badge. I'm very sorry for all the mispronunciations and all that this video. I didn't want to edit it too much. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of lost interest in editing considering how much I've had to edit, but I'm still trying to edit it for you guys. But that is the final battle for this episode, and I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Here are the final stats.